Hi folks, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're well. Today I'll be sharing my first impressions on the 2025 Honda NC750. Now just before we get started, I want to say a massive thank you to the guys here at Vertu Honda Stockton for lending me their NC750. I've bought two bikes from these guys in the last 2 years, both of which are on service plans, and the guys here do a fantastic job at looking after both me and the bike. If you're in the area and you want a new bike, or you need work doing on your existing bike, an MOT or a service, pop in or give the guys a call and I'm sure they'd be very happy to help you out. So, first impressions on the bike. I think this is quite a good looking bike actually. I do like the red. It's also available in white, black, and I think it's available in a khaki colour as well. This is the DCT version. It's my first time on a DCT, so this should be quite interesting. This one has an optional extra adjustable screen. It has the comfort seats, and there was something else. It's got heated grips as well, which it doesn't come with standard. So there's quite a lot to talk about on this bike. So what I thought I would do is jump on, we'll go for a little ride, and then from there I'll share what I'm thinking as we go. Now just before I get too far into this video, I've just realised I have not got a clip explaining what DCT is. DCT stands for dual clutch transmission, and if you have a bike with DCT, it effectively becomes an automatic. You can override the bike by using some buttons on the left hand side of the handlebar, but in this video I don't use them. Okay, let's get going. This is going to be a little bit weird because there's no clutch. It's the first time I've ridden a bike without a clutch before. The seat is incredibly comfortable. This is the comfort seat. It's like a sofa. My hands are a little bit lower than the Transalp. That does feel quite comfortable though. My legs are a little bit more bent than the Transalp, but that should be fine. We'll get rid of that there. So I believe what we need to do here is press this button to drive, and then from there it's twist and go. Oh, that is a little bit strange. Okay, first thoughts. Easy to get going, comfortable. The switch gear is very positive when you put the indicators on, for example. It's very clicky, it's got a nice feel to it. I'm currently in, oh, what mode was that? Saying eco, rain, user, we'll leave it in standard mode for now. I did think I was there to start with, but maybe not. So what I thought I would do first is go through Yarm for some slower kind of town riding, I guess. And then from there we'll find the back roads. We'll eventually end up on the motorway, and then we'll come back. This bike is very well balanced at slow speed. It really wants to stay upright, this bike. Feels very, very light. This DCT box is very nice. It's nowhere near as juddery as I thought it was going to be. It's very easy to ride. I've got used to not having a clutch straight away, which I didn't think I was going to. You can feel it change gear, but I was expecting like a bit more of a jolt when it drops down a gear or goes up a gear, and it's not like that at all. It's actually quite smooth. I think what I will do though next time we hit a set of red lights is put this screen up a little bit. I'm getting a lot of wind in my face even at this speed. I am a tall guy, so I do sit a bit higher than most normally would. I must say this DCT box at slower speeds it's very nice. It's very easy to use. I'm not saying using a clutch is difficult, but this is just that little bit easier. The bike is very well balanced. It's not difficult to keep it going in a straight line at slow speeds at all. We'll get that screen up while we're here. Oh wow, that's a lot higher. That's a huge amount of adjustment. Okay, I'm now moving at a similar speed to what I was in Yarm, but on a much more bumpy road, and there is a little bit of feedback through the bars. I wouldn't call the suspension harsh at all, but I wouldn't say it was super soft either. It's sort of sat right in that sweet spot, right in the middle where I think most people will probably want it. I'm hoping it will be the same case up at higher speeds, 50-60 mile an hour. Oh, that DCT is incredibly smooth. You can hear it change gear, but you can't feel it. That's incredible. The suspension is very smooth. I would actually say that's excellent, to be honest. That's, again, not super soft, but I think for what this bike's built for, which is a little bit of everything, but without going off-road, it's about right, really, yeah. I think what we'll do is, while I'm on a quiet road, we'll hit the brakes pretty hard just to see what they're like. So 53 and go. Well, they stop you pretty well. They're very good. Can't complain there. What a fantastic bike this is. I've read a lot of reviews and seen a few videos online where people are maybe not a huge fan of this bike. They've maybe described it as a little bit boring, a little bit lacking in character, but I disagree. It's absolutely fantastic. It's smooth. The gearbox and the engine are fantastic. Not particularly powerful. We'll talk about specs in just a second. The brakes are good. I don't really know what's not to like, to be honest. Into neutral, and then I believe we're off. Moving on to some specs. Now, I haven't referred to any specs so far. The reason being is some people look at a spec sheet and they make an assumption of whether they're going to like or dislike the bike without even riding it. So I thought I would leave the specs for later on in this video. This bike is available in red, white, black and khaki, and it is powered by a 750cc parallel twin. That produces 69 Newton meters of torque and 57 brake horsepower. The bike has a 14.1 litre fuel tank, which is located under the passenger seat. I'll talk more about that later on in the video. It has 120 millimeters of suspension travel up front, which is non-adjustable, and 120mm of suspension travel on the rear, which is preload adjustable. The bike has a 17-inch rear wheel and a 17-inch front wheel. The front wheel has two 296mm discs, both with 2-pot Nissan calipers, and the rear wheel has a single 240mm disc with a single pot Nissan caliper. The bike is available as a DCT, which is the one I have here, and you can also get it in a 6-speed manual. The bike weighs in at 226 kilos, completely standard, and it retails at £8,399. Okay, going back to that fuel tank, it's not located in the usual spot up here. It's located underneath the passenger seat. To get to that fuel tank, take the key, put it in here and turn it all the way to the left, and you then have access to the filler cap, which means underneath here there is an empty space. Turn this key the other way and you have what I believe is called a frunk, a front trunk. This is big enough to get in a helmet, clothes, pack lunch, your work kit, whatever it may be. It's quite a big space. I like how there's a rubber seal around here to keep the water out. It's very easy to use in a practical spot. A great feature. One thing I can say about this bike before I start it up is the display is incredibly clear. It's nice and sheltered by this cover here, so you don't get any glare off it. It's really easy to read. It's also very easy to use using all of the switch gear. I won't go through that in this video as it's, well, I don't really want to bulk this video out too much. I think what we will do though is we will put the bike into sport mode just to see if there's much of a difference over standard. Going to feel weird getting back on the Transalp with the clutch lever. The bike is very well balanced. It handles very, very well. Considering it's not really designed to be a sporty machine, it certainly handles well. Yeah, sport mode does seem to hold on to gears a little bit longer, maybe not by much. This bike's lovely. It's really surprised me, this bike. I knew it was going to be good, but I didn't think it would be putting a smile on my face like it is now. Now we're just about to pull onto a slipway to go northbound onto the A19, so this is a good opportunity to see how well the bike accelerates in sport mode. Here we go. Yep, I think it's fair to say that accelerates well enough. Very well indeed. So while we are now at 70 miles an hour, it's probably a good opportunity to talk about comfort. There's next to no pressure on my head. There's very little pressure on my shoulders. My knees are very well protected, and it is a very comfortable place to be. I'm currently sat at just under 3,500 RPM, and the bike feels very comfortable doing this speed. Doesn't seem to be struggling at all in any way. I would happily do several hundred miles on this bike on the motorway, and I don't think I'd be achy when I got off at the end. Now unfortunately, looking at the time, I am going to have to head back towards Honda. I did say I would leave the bike with the same amount of fuel that I got it with, but the fuel gauge doesn't seem to have moved. It does seem to be a very economical bike. I haven't got an exact reading for today, but from all of the reviews I've read from other people, they seem to be very, very good on fuel in the long run. I think what we'll do is we'll put the bike into rain mode. There we are. Just to see if there's any difference again between sport, standard and rain. If it's anything like the Transalp, it'll be much smoother power delivery, nowhere near as aggressive, and straight away you can tell the difference. It does seem to be a lot more smooth. If you haven't ridden a bike with DCT, I would strongly advise getting down to Honda and giving one a go. I was a little bit against them, to be honest, because for me part of riding a bike is knowing when to change gear and using the clutch and all that kind of stuff, but after riding this today, it's very, very good. It's a very, very nice feature to have on a motorbike. So overall, what do I think to the Honda NC750 with the DCT gearbox? Do I think it's worth the £8,399 price tag? Well, the best way I can answer that is by saying if I didn't have the Transalp and the Transalp wasn't an option, this would definitely be on the list. It's not the fastest thing out there, but it's very comfortable, it's very smooth, it's a joy to ride, and it really is a fantastic bike. Now, just before I get back to Honda, I want to say another huge thank you to all of the team at Vertu Honda Stockton. Thank you very much for letting me steal your NC750 for the day. It really is very much appreciated. If you pop in, please let them know you've seen this video. It just lets the guys know that these videos are getting out there and people are watching them. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe, and I'll see you soon.